Hello, Circle friends. Grace, mercy, and peace to you all. We pray that you and your family are doing well. We are taking a pause this week from our regular virtual worship services, but we haven't taken a pause in terms of knowing and remembering all the God-good things that are still happening among us. We are still continuing to meet in some small group gatherings in person. We've had some book studies. We've had the youth gathering around the fire pit. We've also had some parents gathering for some discussion, and we hope to continue some of that in the coming weeks. It's not unlike what was happening in the early church when they practiced gathering in small groups. And it's kind of like hearkening back to the beginning of the formation of the Circle of Mercy, where we also gathered in small groups. So we will be continuing to do that in the coming weeks in a variety of ways, and hope that you will be able to participate in some of that. We've been meeting some under the eaves at that back porch, and sometimes the bear has come through to join us. So you may want to come for a bear sighting. That would be especially good. We also want you to know that even though we're taking this pause from the worship, we are not taking a pause from our prayers for you. We know that these are difficult days. These are days of exploring new ways of being. And we especially know that this week, our teachers and our parents and our kids and our young people are beginning a new way of what it means to start the school year. So we especially want to remember you and recognize that each day you are doing heroic things in meeting the day and doing all that you can, even on those times when it doesn't feel like all you've done is enough. We pray that you experience grace in this moment. But we thought, wouldn't it be nice if Lewis was able to read from one of his favorite poets, Khalil Gibran, from the prophet, that talks about the children. So we're going to let him say a few words about this book that is one of his favorites, and then he will read that for you, and then we will offer you blessing.
As Nancy said, Khalil Gibran has been one of my favorite philosophers, poets for a long time. Born in Lebanon, spending part of his life in Syria, and winding up the last 20 years of his life in the United States. His book, The Prophet, has spoken to me many times on various subjects. And today we're considering children and how precious they are, and this is their time to start a new phase and under new difficult circumstances in many situations. So we thought we would read his essay on children, which turns out to be directed more at the parents, but the children are the beneficiaries. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, but tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hands be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable.
Parents and children, young people, and those of you who are teachers in our educational settings, our prayers and blessings surround you as you return to school this week. And as in the spring, school is going to look a little bit different for all of us. School might be at your kitchen table. It might be in a desk in your bedroom. It might be on your front porch. It might be any number of other places. So hear these words of blessing for you as you enter into this school year, into a time that continues to be unknown, but in a time that you continue to be held and loved in God's grace and mercy. Our prayer for you is that you know that the best that you can do in any moment is always enough. It's okay to feel frustrated. We pray that you give yourself permission to offer yourself the grace that you offer so freely to others. We pray that you know that you don't have to have every single thing figured out. The only thing that you need to do and know is to make the next right step for yourself, for your children, for your students, and that we're all going to make mistakes. Things won't be perfect, and that's perfectly okay. You are enough. You are not alone. The presence of the Holy One surrounds you and enfolds you, as well as this circle.
Friends, hear these words as they come to us from Jeremiah. Blessed are those who trust in God, whose trust is in God. They shall be like a tree planted by water, sending out its roots by the stream. So, my friends, may we trust our tree planting God and trust that the roots that we cannot see are reaching out and will discover the stream that gives life, the stream that gives grace and wonder upon wonders. So then may the peace of Christ dwell in you richly. Amen.